Welcome back for episode 34 of Free Thoughts from Freedom Chiropractic and Rehab. Thanks for joining us. This week's quote of the week comes from Aristotle. He said, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit." So think about it. The things that you choose to do on a regular basis every day are the things that lead to your success, but can also lead to your failure. So we're talking about the good, positive habits like exercise and eating healthy and going to bed early. Those kinds of things are going to lead to success. But choosing to eat an extra bowl of ice cream or choosing to sit on the couch and binge watch something on Netflix, those are things that are going to lead to your demise. So make sure that you're choosing to repeatedly do the things that help as opposed to the things that harm. Okay, let's talk about health. This week, students and teachers returned to schools in Carroll County. This time of transition, we transition from the free time of the summer into the more structured schedule of the school year, is a time of transition. We know that there are changes happening during this time. What we wanted to do in our house was to help our children to establish better routines so that it made their day a little bit easier. Now, no one was going to different schools, obviously different grades and different teachers, but the school schedule, the morning schedule, is going to be unchanged for us. But what we wanted to do is to help our children to understand that the things that they can do at night and get out of the way will make the mornings easier on them. So we try to have our children lay out their clothes for the next day ahead of time. So they're laying them out the night before. We want them to pack their lunches the night before. And then we want them to make sure that they're getting into bed at an early enough time. Then when they wake up in the morning, the following morning, they'll come downstairs. They usually empty the dishwasher. They have a couple other chores around the kitchen, but then they'll eat their breakfast. Then they'll go upstairs and get dressed from the clothes they laid out the night before, brush their teeth, brush their hair, and get themselves ready for the day. These routines are very important, just like Aristotle talked about. We talk about how these habits will lead to excellence. These are the routines that we put in place, and there's some different variation from day to day depending on what needs to happen. But what routines are you setting up for your children? Are you giving them the tools to help them to succeed? Now, here's the other catch. We all know that our children are always watching. All the good things that we do, but they're also watching the bad things that we do. So if we want them to get into routines as well, we should probably demonstrate that we have our own routines, that we have our own habits, that we do these things to help us to succeed as well. So let's help our children by giving them routines, but maybe we need to sit down and think about tweaking our own routines so that we can build ourselves towards that success as well. All right, now it's time for some good news. This is one of those stories that kind of restores my faith in humanity. This was a story from a couple years ago out of Rosedale, California. There were two little girls out for a bike ride. They happened to overhear that there was a missing woman. There was a 97-year-old nonverbal dementia patient that had wandered away from the home that she was living in. No one could find her. The police were looking. These two girls rode home and found their two friends, 10, 11 years old, these kids, and they got on their bikes and they went, and guess who the people were that found her? These kids found her. They called the police over, they were able to solve the problem, but the kids took it upon themselves to search for this woman, and they found her. How cool is it that these 10, 11-year-old kids just chose to do something to help? They chose to do the right thing. What a cool story. Just thought it was worth sharing, and I wanted you guys to know about it.